All right, here we are. We are live, guys. Welcome to This Week in Geek. It's me, it's Patrick. We're here to bring you guys the goods, and we're talking what we need from Star Wars in the future. We're going to talk about some of the future series coming up with other than Obi-Wan Kenobi. We will also be taking your guys' questions in the community tab of my YouTube. I don't know if you posted anything, Patrick.
I completely forgot to.
It's all good. It's all good if you didn't. So we'll just use the questions I have, as well as there is your live chat to share your weekly rankings. So make sure we do want to hear that down below. But we're excited to be doing this today, and we're excited to have you guys along for the ride, especially with Star Wars. Because, like, for me, I don't know how your feelings are on Kenobi, Patrick, but I really am liking this show so far.
Me too.
And in fact, it's kind of like, and I just got back from Star Wars Celebration last weekend, and the one thing I loved about going there was while everyone there was very different on their opinions, whether it was sequel, prequel, originals, the shows, everyone respected each other's opinions.
That's really
there
good.
was not one point, like, I was always afraid to like kind of share my opinion to certain people just because of how the fan base has been. But I would argue that every person I talked to there, and I would say a majority of people there, probably like almost 95% of the people there, no one is toxic. No one is rude.
Awesome.
No one is terrible when it comes down to certain things, you know. Everyone just loves Star Wars there, even if they don't love everything they've done. So that was like an expectation I did not see going there. I was actually really worried that, you know, these toxic fans you see online, like the ones attacking Moses Ingram right now, would be the ones there.
I mean, that's what I was sort of expecting myself, because like it's just, even though it's in the media and what's reported, like we only really see the bad side of the fandom nowadays, which is really unfortunate. But as you said, like 95% were really respectful, and you know, they respected each other's opinions in regards to whether it was the movies or shows or Disney or not, originals, prequels, sequels. And I think that's really good to hear and really awesome to see, considering it does show that the Star Wars fan base itself isn't just a toxic fan base. It's just that small minority that we see mostly reported on, because that's the bad thing that is worth reporting on to get clicks.
Yep. I totally agree, man. But anyways, dude, let's get to our weekly ranking. I'm gonna be honest, my weekly ranking is actually from the week last week. I have not watched a single thing this week besides TV. It's just been busy, but you know, I'm gonna jump right into mine real fast. So at the bottom is Crimes of the Future. Starting this out, the more and more I think about this Cronenberg film, the more and more I'm disappointed by it.
That's the Viggo Mortensen one, isn't it?
Yep. There's good stuff about it, but they said 15 people, and people walked out in the first 15 minutes. People walked out because it was boring. I flat out. There's nothing disgusting. There's two disgusting things in here, but it's very tame, and it didn't gross me out like at all. Like I just sat there and I was like, okay, like this is happening. There was one good bloody thing in there that I was like, oh, that was pretty shocking. But the concept is great, but the entire film feels like you are arm's length from where you are at. And it's the most disappointing thing about the entire film.
That's the opposite of what I've heard so far about, like, in comparison to like Men, which just came out as well. Like that's complete opposite I heard from Men.
I love that
being
movie.
Honest.
I love that.
I get to see it finally on June 16th.
Oh, okay. I'm hoping you like it. It's one of those movies that everyone I talked to either fucking hated it or liked it a lot. So that's an interesting one. Up next, I have Bob's Burgers movie. I'm not a fan of the show. I got some enjoyment out of this movie, but nothing much more than that. Also, it's kind of a musical at times, so that I'm not a musical fan. So now you're mixing two things I don't like.
Does it go the South Park bigger, longer, and uncut route?
No, not enough. That one was funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
There's only there's 4 musicals numbers in it, 4 or 5, and they go on way too long. There is one, I shit you not, the very last one goes on for probably, it felt like 20 minutes. It was probably closer to 6 or 7 minutes. But I zoned out. I if you asked me what happened in that entire moment, I fell asleep for like 7 to 8 minutes. I just had no idea. My brain just shut off. Next up, I got The Lost World Jurassic Park 2.
Okay.
It's fine. Did not hold up as much as when I was a kid, and I liked this and seeing the T-Rex go into San Diego and destroy stuff. So that's kind of like all I'll leave it at. But I will say up next, I have Jurassic Park 3. I thought this used to suck. It's kind of so bad it's good, but it's entertaining, and plus it is short. It's an hour and a half thrill ride. Like, it just gets right into the concept, and there's actual just fun to be had. Like, I was shocked watching this. I was not looking forward to this movie at all. This was, as a kid, I hated this film, and now I have some weird appreciation for it now. Okay. Up next, I have Barry episode. What I don't remember what episode it is, but it's the newest episode of Barry. It was fantastic. The opening set piece was great. Can't wait to see where that goes. Next, I have The Boys 1 through 3. Kind of come to a little bit more of appreciation with them. I wasn't as high on them the second I started this season, but I just rewatched them again, and I liked them a little bit more, especially because I have seen up to episode 6. I have 2 more episodes to watch, so they're a little bit more higher on those. And up next, I got a couple more things, guys. Hold your horses. Up next, I have Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul delivers one of its best episodes in the entire season. I was fabulously... this show is incredible. I cannot wait to see the last 7 episodes, I think in the end of July when it comes back. Next, I'm just going to say Obi-Wan Kenobi, episodes 1 through 3. I love this show. I love Kenobi. I love what they're doing with Vader. I love what they are doing with the Inquisitors. I love this show so much. And it was really cool. I got to see the first 2 episodes at the world premiere, which was cool. Awesome. Hearing fans, excited and stuff like that was cool. But then, like, the second I got back, I was like, after I filmed my review and everything, I'm like, I'm watching this again. And I watched it again, and it was just as good. So, and I loved episode 3. I actually want to rewatch that one because I watched it at midnight and I was really exhausted. So I couldn't like excite myself as much as I wanted to when I was watching that for the first time, but really dig that. And in my number 1, it is Stranger Things season 4, volume 1. I was one of the people that said they should not do another Stranger Things season. Stranger Things season 3 was perfect. It ended perfectly with Hopper and everything of that nature. Then I watched this season and I'm like, nope, they still have a lot of stuff for me. A lot of stuff to still impress. And while this is the longest season with all of its runtimes, it's the best one for me. And I don't think it's the best made. I still think there's issues, but it's the best one for me because they give time. They develop everyone. They have so many fucking characters at this point. You have to give development. And almost every character gets something. Even if I don't like all the storylines going on. Like the Russian stuff with Hopper, that's probably some of the weakest shit in the entire show. But I still love Hopper. Then the California stuff with Will, Jonathan, Argyle, Mike really is not going anywhere yet. So waiting to see where that goes. But everything in Hawkins, it's perfect. Sadie Sink deserves an Emmy nomination. She does. Absolutely. If you have not, I'm not going to spoil it because
I've seen it in its entirety.
I know you. I assumed you had seen it. That episode 4 was incredible. Arguably, probably the best episode of the entire show. It was so favorite. Good. And then episode 7 was fantastic too. And now I can't wait to see the next 2 because while I saw that coming, like the twist, I really liked it in the end. So bring it on. 2 more. There we go. What about you, Patrick? What's your weekly ranking?
So first up, I have Jurassic Park 3. I rewatched it this week, and I can't stand this movie.
You didn't like the birdcage scene? That was a cool scene.
The birdcage scene was the only scene I like in that movie. From the scene with the Velociraptor on the plane with the dream sequence to the really shocking at times animatronic work. And, I never really enjoyed like the whole let's go to the island and save this kid sort of thing. Like I think the opening scene, even with some shoddy green screen is fine.
It's terrible.
I think the scene is fine enough, but I don't like the green screen. It's shocking. But the overall concept and them going to this island to save, this family's kid and everything. And that's the reason why you brought Alan Grant back. I'm like, no, I don't believe that that's why he would return. I just don't believe it for a second. It's not a movie that by any means I hate. I think saying I hate it is actually very strong. It's just one I'm disappointed with every time I watch it because I want to give it a chance. But every time I try to give it that chance, it just seems to fall further and further down in regards to just enjoyment. Because I remember this one being one I really enjoyed as a kid. But now growing up, ever since I became a teenager,
I was the opposite. I hated that movie as a kid.
Right. Okay.
It. So I don't know if it was just like my expectations were like fucking trash when I went to go just rewatch it, but I was surprised.
Yeah. Like, saying I hate it, as I said, is a strong statement by all means, but I just don't very enjoy it all that much. I think the characters are absolutely shocking. I think the family is annoying. I think Dr. Grant returning for this reason is very lazy, in my opinion. And then Laura Dern is completely wasted in the movie with just a few phone calls. I'm just like, why have her in it if this is the only reason? Like, I love the birdcage scene. Don't get me wrong. That's a brilliant scene. But everything else just falls flat, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Okay.
At number 7, I have Stranger Things episodes 3 through 7.
Okay, 3 through 7. Okay.
So last week I watched episodes 1 and 2, but because of COVID, I ended up scrapping those videos completely. Wasn't into it. I just didn't have the energy. But I really enjoyed episodes 1 and 2. Episodes 3 through 7, on the other hand, I really enjoy episode 4. I think it's brilliant. And maybe the last 30 to 40 minutes of episode 7, I think, is some of the best Stranger Things has ever had to offer. Unfortunately for me, all the different characters being introduced, all the new subplots, all the new storylines, everything with Hopper and everything, it feels like way too much. It feels very uneven at times. It feels very oddly paced. And I was actually talking to Cody about it earlier, a couple days ago. And I basically said, like, I think I would appreciate season 4 a whole lot more if all those new characters, all those new storylines that were introduced in this season were removed, but in favor of a side show for Stranger Things, like a Fear the Walking Dead situation with Morgan.
Like, you mean like with Hopper?
With Hopper and all the.
So I actually do agree with you. I think they should have I think they should have had an in between season to give us that.
Yeah, and
the California stuff is hard to go away from. I think that one had to be in there, and I assume there will be more to that. Like, I assume there will be something more to that in the next 2 episodes, but that's why it's so hard to judge the entire season without those 2 episodes. But I do agree, Hopper, they should have just done a middle chapter.
Like, a middle chapter, a middle show, like a Fear the Walking Dead, and there's even more that you could possibly do with that as well.
And it could have been like 4 episodes, 4 to 6 episodes.
4 to 6 hour-long episodes, if not slightly shorter, like
45 because if the entire, unless, let me just say this, because we don't know how the Russians got the Demogorgon, so there might be a special thing that they have to do in Russia for the Upside Down. So if that, in conclusion, means they have to have them in Russia for the finale, okay. But if they just end up coming back, that's the tougher part. So I will agree with you on that.
That's one of the reasons why it's so low, though, because it's so hard to comment on it because we don't have those final 2 episodes. And there are so many things that just aren't rounded enough as it is right now. And I still have my issues with a lot of the writing. A lot of characters get completely sidelined. I honestly think Finn Wolfhard it feels like he's very half-assing it most of the season.
I just don't even think he cares. I don't even think that's the right. I think he just doesn't give a fuck. I want him to kill him off. I actually think killing him off would benefit literally the rest of the show and the rest
and all the characters as well, like Elle and Dustin and everything. Like, if they kill Dustin, I will probably cry, because Dustin's my favorite character in Stranger Things, has been since day one. And I was so happy watching season 3, seeing him with Susie with that little moment that just made me smile so much. But yeah, no, it's hard to comment because we don't have those last 2 episodes, as you said, and there's still so much to go and to round everything up. So I still have my issues with writing and pacing. Obviously, I think it's a very poorly paced season, in my opinion. But that's also why I haven't even commented on it really online, because I don't have the full picture yet, and I don't want to comment.
Fair enough.
So, next up, I have Rent-A-Girlfriend Season 1. I heard that Season 2 of this anime was coming out, and a mate of mine challenged me, saying that I will hate this anime, and that if I managed to sit through all 12 episodes, he would buy me a burger. Guess who ended up having a burger? Because I think it's fine. I think characters are annoying. I think Ruka, the main character's girlfriend, after halfway, is beyond obnoxious and just a manipulative bitch. She literally blackmails him into dating her. And I'm just like, don't agree with that. His ex-girlfriend's like the definition of cliche ex-girlfriend, jealous, trying to break you up with this person. But I appreciate the story and the concept of this guy renting out a girl to be his renter girlfriend because, you know, his grandmother like is so down in the dumps regarding thinking he's ever going to find someone, but now seeing him with this girl by accident, even though she's not meant to get involved under her contract with clients, family members, makes things very complicated. And that's one of the things I loved about it. The complicated story behind it is something I appreciated behind it. And it's a lot of fun for that. It has the same English voice actor for our main character as Zenitsu from Demon Slayer, which, you know, made me laugh quite a bit, especially when he was crying because I like it. He was Zenitsu. But yeah, it's fine. It's not great. It's not awful. I am curious with season 2 because these are characters I admittedly care about, but can't say it's great. Next, Lost World Jurassic Park 2. I really love the Lost World Jurassic Park 2. I think, you know, in recent years, it's gotten such a bad rap from a lot of people. And I can sort of see why this movie isn't on the favorites of everyone's list. But I think Jeff Goldblum, along with the really fun concept of the T-Rex and the climax being, you know, in a big city and everything is really fun. And I think, you know, forgive me for not remembering her name, villain from Golden Circle, Kingsman, the actress.
In the Golden Circle one?
Yeah, she plays Poppy.
Oh, Julianne Moore.
That's it. She's really fun in it. I think the daughter... Sorry?
So is Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, I completely forgot he was in it, and he's really fun. I just think... I don't think Jurassic Park 2 is a great film by any means, but I think it's just a fun one. One I can just chuck on in the background and just enjoy. One I can sit down, turn my brain off, and have a good time with, and not think about it too much. It's by no means up where Jurassic Park 1 is, but it's nowhere near as bad as Jurassic Park 3.
It's kind of sad because I think like none of the Jurassic Park movies are even like close to that original one. Like, I like the original. I like the new, the first Jurassic World a lot. Like, I love that movie.
Yeah,
but like,
I do too.
It's like not even like fucking close. Like,
no.
Jurassic Park is like up here, and everything else is like down right here, and just like topples. You know, it's
and
really
then you have Fallen Kingdom by itself.
Yeah, I don't hate Fallen Kingdom, but it's not.
I
good,
do.
So
I do. I'm excited for Dominion though. I've got my screening on Wednesday night, I think.
I'll tell you right now, check your expectations. I haven't seen it, but
okay.
We'll talk later if you want to know.
Okay. Okay. I'm just excited to see the Mosasaurus.
I'm telling you right now, I'm checking my expectations.
Okay. We'll talk about that later. Next up, The Boys season 3 episodes 1 through 3. I have the same feeling that you had before you rewatched it and everything. I don't hate it. I think it's good, but I'm not as in love with it as I was with season 1.
Do you know why I'm not? So you've only seen you didn't get screeners or anything, right?
I didn't even request this time.
My issue with this season is, and I felt this a little bit in season 2, but now I really feel it. I don't feel it as much going in 4, 5, and 6. It was only 1 through 3. They're doing shocking to be shocking, and I don't like that. The opening scene is fucking hilarious, but it was disgusting and absolutely took me out of the entire experience. And I know I'm probably in the minority on that, but that was just gross. That was just disgusting. I actually felt that inside myself. It felt like he was inside me. Like, that was disgusting. That was so
like
gross.
that little fish that when you pee in the Amazon or something that swims up the stream and everything, and you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
It reminded me of that.
The season gets better, I'll tell you that. I don't know how it's going to end, so I might, the whole thing with TV. Yeah, I have. It's vastly different than the comics. It's vastly different.
It is. Comics,
Okay,
so it is. So it's not going the route that I think it's going to go with Butcher, with him now having the pills and everything.
I mean, it's hard to say without like getting into spoilers because like I can't like talk about it.
Of course, yeah.
But
you know what I'm talking about.
I've always said that the thing that they do with The Boys is they take what's really good in the comics and makes it better for the show. But I also think the comics are pretty weak, to be honest with you. I like the comics a lot. I like them. I do not love them. I love a lot of the show. I think I love a lot of this show. But that's my only issue. And I think that's why season 1 or episodes 1, 2, 3, since I watched them in like literally in order right away, that scene caught me off guard. And it took me till episode 3 to kind of fix myself and be like, okay, it's gross. It's fucking disgusting, but
Yep.
I'm here now. I'm a little bit more okay with what's going on.
Yeah.
That's just me. So so did
I
you feel
think
that same way though? Like with the
I did.
disgusting?
It
Okay.
does. Like, I thought that was hilarious, and I didn't feel it inside me. I just thought that was really funny, and all I thought of was like the whole thing with the MCU with that one character and the other character, and the jokes that were going around the internet at the time. You obviously know what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
But in the end, it does feel like shock for the sake of shock. There are at least 2 moments in each episode, but it's also the fact that I'm not even remotely interested in like the CIA stuff with Huey and the woman who we know from the end of season 2 is the head popper. I'm not remotely interested in the fact that you know, everything with Homelander and what is it, Starlight this time around. Don't care. Although by the end of episode 3, I really hate Homelander. They're really nailing that home,
Yep.
and it's brilliant. But I just, you know what? I hate him so much after the end of episode 3. I just want to put my fist through the screen. I will say though, my biggest issue is the new subplots in regards to everything with Frenchie and what's going on, and the new girl, which I won't mention because of spoilers, obviously, but then everything with MM as well, with that reveal. I'm sorry. You made it out to be one thing in season 2 and 1, and then now introducing this new detail, it just has me questioning why. I understand, but it feels so thrown in, unfortunately, that I'm just
so
not
for me,
invested.
I feel different on that. There's 2 storylines
Really?
in here I do not like, and maybe that's because I've seen
Okay.
more. I absolutely hate what they're doing with the Deep, and I absolutely hate what they're doing with A-Train.
Oh, I hate what they're doing with the Deep and A-Train
Well,
as well.
A-Train gets a little bit better, but I'm the Deep is
Does
a
he?
fucking terrible character. They have to kill him off. There's
Yeah.
nothing there for that character. I love what they're doing with Maeve. Even though it's very subtle,
Yes.
this is the problem with the boys as well. It's not a problem. They just have so many characters, so it's hard to give depth. But I will
I love
agree
what
with
they're
you.
doing
Like,
with Black Noir. I like what they did with Black Noir by
yeah,
the end of episode 3.
it's very different than what's in the comics with Black
Oh,
Noir.
it is. It's very different, but I like the change personally. I think it's very cool.
I do too. I'm curious to see. I'm wondering if they'll shift it in a sense to change it to, what is supposed to happen in the comics. Just a little bit. Not
Yeah,
with Black Noir, but maybe with a different character that gets introduced. I don't
maybe.
know. The Countess was fun. That entire scene was fun. But
Yeah.
we got to start going with your ranking, man.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3, I started watching Hunter x Hunter season 1. Absolutely
nice.
loving it. I thought it was a little slow to begin with, but after it gets to like the 4th phase of the the Hunter exams, really fun, really entertaining. Killua and Karapika are easily my favorite characters so far. I just think it's a really fun show, and Gon is a great character so far, and his motive is nothing selfish, but is something I believe as well. Him never meeting his father because he was a hunter, so now he wants to be a hunter like his father to meet his father. That's very believable. What is it? I always forget his name. I'm going to call him Spectacles, the guy with the briefcase who just wants to be a doctor. He's actually a very interesting character. Unfortunately, his backstory is thrown under the rug. The fights are fun. Hisoka, on the other hand, Hisoka, what a weird fucking character. Wow, he is definitely giving me pedo vibes right off the bat with Gon and Killua, but that apparently goes into play way further in season 2 and 3, according to a mate of mine. But yeah, not even gonna go there. Not even gonna go there.
Fair enough.
Next, Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. I rewatched the anime Netflix series of Resident Evil, and I think it's so good as a canon continuation of the Resident Evil story, following on from RE4. By the way, I'm just going to mention, over the moon about that RE4 remake reveal.
That was a really good trailer.
Over the fucking moon.
What do you think of Callisto Protocol? You like that?
I'm so excited.
That was the best thing I saw. That was the best thing I saw at that.
For me, it was Callisto Protocol and Resi and Final Fantasy 16 as well.
Res, I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, I am. You know what I am excited though? The PSVR. I am so excited to see what they do with if it is the full game as well. I'm not replaying Village though in VR. Fuck that. I cannot do I can't do the baby scene in that. I cannot.
Oh, I could. I just don't like Village.
I know, but I would not be able to do the baby scene. I would be screaming. I would not be able to do that.
I hope Outlast Trials is in VR. Just saying that.
I'm not playing that.
No, we've got an agreement. We've got an agreement. Remember?
I know. But
you, Austin, and myself.
I know, but go forward, man. I distracted you with Infinite
No, that's
Darkness.
fine. Yeah, Infinite Darkness, as a massive RE fan, it's like the perfect continuation in like film or TV media in the canon storyline of Resident Evil, in my opinion. I think they did a really good job. Unfortunately, it's way too fucking short. It's way too fucking short. It's only 4 episodes that are like 20 minutes each. But I think for what it set out to do, it did a really good job. And I really enjoy Infinite Darkness every time I watch it. I watch it like once every 3 months. And I can't wait to get my Blu-ray when it comes in Australia, whenever that's going to fucking be. But at number 1, Obi-Wan Episode 3. Perfect. Pure perfection, in my opinion. I think everything they're doing with the character of Reva, everything with Obi-Wan, everything with Vader. I'm sorry, but this just blew the Rogue One hallway scene out the fucking window, in my opinion. I think him going through that little village, choking children, killing people just to get to Obi-Wan and find him before the fight between them. Like, wow. This is the scariest he's been, in my opinion. Like, and Vader has been scary countless times in Star Wars. But this just shows, dude, this is Vader.
The fire.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Just no remorse whatsoever. And this is clearly Vader in his prime. And I see a lot of complaints regarding Obi-Wan. Oh, he's so weak in comparison, blah, blah, blah.
I absolutely, oh my God, I hate that.
Fuck off. Honestly, even if he's not rusty, say he still honed his skills, he hasn't trained in 10 years. He hasn't had the chance to improve his skill in 10 years. I don't think even then not wielding a lightsaber,
he went away from the Force. Like, he literally hadn't used the Force for 10 years. He hasn't used a lightsaber for 10 years or see combat.
Where Vader has had 10 years to hone his skills with the Force, with the dark side, to train and get stronger.
He trained the Inquisitors, you know what I mean? Like, he's been doing all this for 10 years. Like, that's
whether Obi-Wan had not shut himself off from the Force and he'd still been briefly using it, he is still vastly outmatched in comparison.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Obi-Wan's prime was Revenge of the Sith, arguably.
Yeah.
That's when he was in his prime.
And even then, Anakin was a little too strong at times for him.
So, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it all goes to there. But I'm happy that was your number 1. I'm happy you're enjoying Kenobi. And that's what our whole discussion is going to be. Now, I didn't see any weekly rankings. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Ren. Ryan O'Toole, Jurassic Park, number 1, The Boys Season 3, Episode 3, The Boys Season 3, Episode 2, The Boys Season 3, Episode 1, The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Nice ranking. I dig it. Weekend ranking for me, no bad movies this week. Walk of Shame. Just go with it. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Episode 3, Stranger Things, Episode 4, Season 4, rewatch of Top Gun. Okay, I would not put Top Gun unless that was Maverick. The top.
It was Maverick.
It was. Okay, good. Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Orville. I need to watch this because I really liked The Orville before, but I heard they completely changed it. So now I'm actually excited to see what
I've never watched The Orville, but it's been on my list forever.
Yeah, honestly, from everything I heard, the new season is completely different. It is vastly different than the first 2. It's not a comedy anymore.
I haven't even seen the first 2 seasons, but I've been wanting to.
I don't even know if you need to. The Boys Season 3, Episode 1 through 3, and Barry. Yeah, Barry was fucking incredible. Do you watch Barry?
I've never even seen Episode 1.
Dude, it is fucking incredible. It is so.
I need to renew my VPN.
They're like 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes each. Like, you'll love that.
Okay.
Is that it? Is that it for weekly rankings? All right. I'm going to take that as it is. If there's any more, we will go ahead and go through them and they'll get selected. But today we're talking about what we need from Star Wars in the future. And I thought it would be fun with Kenobi going on to kind of detail every single story that's coming up. If we're excited for it, what we hope to get from it. And then maybe even at the end mention like a show or a movie that we'd love to see. You ready, Patrick?
Of course.
Perfect. So starting out, we do have Obi-Wan Kenobi right now. I think you and me both are loving it, enjoying it.
Yep.
As of right now, I know there's only 3 episodes. There's been rumors that maybe there's a season 2. Would you want a season 2, Patrick? I personally, depending on how this season ends, would not want a season 2. Maybe a spinoff leading out of like maybe whatever happens with Reva. Because my theory now
I would love to see something with Reva.
Reva is that little girl in the opening scene.
That's what I was thinking.
Not going to go any further in details for that. If you haven't seen the show, but I think she is, and I think there's an interesting story to be told there with Reva.
Yep.
But going from there, I'm curious. What about you? Like, what do you want a Vader spinoff? Do you want this? Do you want that?
I don't want a Vader spinoff.
No?
I don't care for a Vader spinoff because the Vader spinoff was the prequels, in my opinion. That was Vader's story leading up to him becoming Vader. And of course, we're going to get a little bit more with him in what is it? Kenobi in the later episodes 3, 4, through 6.
I will be honest with this. There's a lot of comics and books that I think are made for storytelling that I would love to see them adapt. There is a Palpatine and Darth Vader story. I think it's called Dark Apprentice or I can't remember.
Dark Apprentice, I think. Yeah, I think another one.
It's fantastic. That would be a great mini series. And that's actually, I get it. There's the argument, well, just read the book. Well, I did read the book, but there are people who will never read the book that I think would be great.
It's like,
even in an animated
if that's
form.
Your argument, if that's your argument, that's like any form of book to media. Like, what about Lord of the Rings, Hunger Games,
exactly,
Star Trek, and all the Star Wars stories we've had?
You just have to be careful with canon, obviously, like bringing it over and making sure it is pretty much the exact same thing, or at least the major decisions are. So, because I know, like, if you read the Ahsoka book, the Clone Wars, like the stuff with her and Rex in that book are not canon anymore compared to what has happened. So interesting there. So we'll leave it there. Next, we have Star Wars Andor, which I have been getting a little bit more excited for this. I'm not the biggest fan of Rogue One. It's one of my more least favorite Star Wars films, but I like it. I like
the ending. I like the third act, but that's about it.
I have heard Andor is incredible from certain people I talked to at Star Wars Celebration. So I'm very excited to see this. I have still not watched the trailer for this. I still have not seen the trailer.
Impressed me so much. Like, I was one of those people who was like, oh, why do we need
I haven't seen it.
I didn't care about this character or anything, but the trailer, its tone was very Rogue One, but seems to have more of the character and story that I wanted from Rogue One.
Well, it's Tony Gilroy who's making the entire thing, which he only reshot the back half of Rogue One. So it's going to be interesting to see what we get from him. What I want from Andor, though, is I do want it to dive a little bit deeper into this kind of rebellion, because Andor was a character who his morale wasn't, it was very teeter-totter. You know, he would kill his own people just to get what needs to be done. And it shows the darker side. And they said that this is what I is also excited, because they did not use that technology with the screens. They built real sets for this one. So,
oh, do they?
Yeah, it's 12 episodes too. It's a 12-episode series. So,
wow.
Anything you hope to see in there? Any characters? Any dynamics? It's apparently a 3-season show overall. They're going to do 3 seasons.
I was about to say, I hope it gives us enough story and characterization to Andor, Cassian Andor, for me to really care about, and going back and rewatching Rogue One to hopefully improve that story. And I hope Andor is one season that leaves off right before Rogue One, but that just throws that out the window. I guess if I was to say what I want from Andor, do we know when it takes place exactly?
I think it's 5 years before Rogue One.
So that would take place during the events almost of Rebels, wouldn't it?
Yes. So, I mean, we might see a Hera
stuff from Rebels.
We might see. I don't think so personally, to be honest, just because we have Ahsoka coming, which we'll talk about soon. But I'm excited to see what Andor does. I'm getting more and more excited. This was my least favorite, like my least anticipated show, but I loved, out of all the characters in Rogue One, he was one of the best ones. Diego Luna was absolutely incredible as Cassian.
He was. So, and I know I forget his name. Do forgive me for that. But from Film Speak.
Griffin. Yeah, he loves that.
Griffin, he's very excited for Andor. I've seen on Twitter. Yeah,
very excited.
Because I know he loves Rogue One.
Next up, we have Tales of the Jedi animated TV series. Have you heard about this one? It was just announced.
I've stayed away. I heard about it.
Okay.
And I went,
so this one is kind of cool. So we're going to see origin stories to certain characters. So we are getting an Ahsoka show showing her mother and stuff like that, of like where she grew up at, which is that's really interesting. But we're also getting a Count Dooku one when he was training with Qui-Gon Jinn when they were younger. And
I saw something on that. And Liam Neeson's returning to play Qui-Gon, isn't he?
Yep. I think he's actually narrating the entire show, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong on that, but I do know he's in it. I love this idea. I love this idea so much. I don't know if I'm going to cover it, but it is a show that absolutely intrigues me, because these are cool concepts to dive into of every single character. And I hope they just release them all at once. This is not a show that
like what they did for Visions.
Yes, exactly.
This
is not a show. Which we're going to talk about season 2 in a second for Visions. But
I was about to say one thing I'd like to see for Tales of the Jedi is something with Yoda. Then I would love to see something finally with Yoda and his past and everything before joining the the Jedi Temple and everything.
I have a theory on one of the shows we're going to talk about towards the end. So I'll mention that when we get there. But I am very excited to see Count Dooku, Qui-Gon. I know some people are like, seriously, more Ahsoka. Yes, I don't give a fuck. I love Ahsoka. She's a cool character. Let's further out the rest of her story. We've seen everyone else's. I mean, she is a main player. I think it is cool that we're getting Qui-Gon and Dooku. So yeah. Next, we have Star Wars: The Bad Batch season 2. Which did you see the trailer for this?
I just don't care. I didn't
Commander
like
Cody's
season 1
in it,
at all.
Commander Cody's in this,
one character isn't enough for me to get remotely.
I liked the first season for what it was. I think you just have to take it for what it is, though. Like it's not gonna change the world or anything like that. It's like Clone Wars. I mean, the first 2 seasons of Clone Wars are kind of like this as well. So that's kind of what I got from Bad Batch.
Season of Clone Wars is some of my favorite Clone Wars. I love the episode.
No way.
I love the episode in Grievous's lair. I love the battle with the what's the ship called that has like the big electrical fucking
I don't remember
blast that shuts down all the ships and their electrical circuits with the thing with Plo Koon and everything. Like I love that series of episodes. I personally love season 1 and the episode Ambush with Yoda and his battalion of clone troopers while he's trying to race to make a treaty with one of the people on the planet while Dooku and Ventress are trying to get there too. I'm a big fan of Clone Wars season 1.
Disagree with you, but I mean, dude, the last like 3 seasons I think are perfect. Like, but it's just Bad Batch for me. I liked season 1. I didn't love it, but season 2, I'm gonna watch it. I just won't cover it. That's kind of where I'm at. The only thing I want from season 2, though, is I do want them to dive a little bit more deeper into Omega. She's clearly Boba Fett's twin, technically. So I want to see that developed. I want them to touch on that. I want them to touch
a colleague of mine at work was saying that. We were saying that too. If we want anything from season 2, it's something with Omega. We were saying that at work the other day.
I will also say they said they gave her armor, and then I saw the picture. I'm like, why didn't they give her like actual armor? Like it's just like she's wearing like I'm like, it's like she's wearing bicycle helmet, man. Like give her actual armor. But jumping in, coming out February 2023, we are getting The Mandalorian season 3, which I don't know if you saw the teaser that went on the internet.
I stayed away.
It was not supposed to be out, but
the only thing I saw from it was the shot of what's her name, Katie Sackhoff on the throne.
The throne, which was a great
that's
shot.
all I saw, but that's a great shot. But that's all I saw. The moment I saw that screenshot, I'm like, nope, bye.
This season, besides The Last of Us and Ahsoka, this is like high up there for me. I am so fucking excited. The fact that a majority it's probably going to take place on Mandalore is a big thing, because that's just one of the most fascinating elements of Star Wars. Looking at The Mandalorian season 3, though, man, I have a feeling this will be the best one yet, and I think it's going to be the most consistent one yet, because I know a lot of people always have issues with Mandalorian season 1 and 2, how it's kind of like an old Western style, how certain episodes don't connect, certain episodes do. And I've never had an issue with that, especially once I kind of got understanding that this is what the show is. Every episode's supposed to be a little bit different. Sometimes it'll connect, sometimes it doesn't. This feels like, and again, this is just from watching the teaser, it feels like they're not going that way.
Okay.
It feels like, okay, we're going to, we're going to very much streamline this. This is the story we're telling. And they've already announced that it has been greenlit for season 4, so hopefully that means we don't have to wait as long for season 4.
Okay. I thought season 3 was going to be the last one.
No. I think the rumor is up to season 6 is what they have planned. So
okay.
No, this is there's still a lot of story to tell. We got to know where. Me, it's like I got to know where Mando goes. I got to know where all these characters are. I want
to know where Grogu ends up.
Trilogy. That too. Who saved Grogu? Which. Wait, okay, I got to talk about one spoiler from Kenobi. So I'm going to hold my hand up for everyone. There's a mention of a character in Obi-Wan Kenobi named Quinlan Voss. If you've watched Clone Wars, you know this character. I think he saved Grogu.
Hang on, I never actually ended up looking it up. I need to refresh myself.
The second you see the character, you'll remember him. But I will say this. I think that character.
Yep.
I think
I know exactly who he is.
I think he saved Grogu as well. I think O'Shea Jackson Jr. is playing him.
Sorry, who's playing him?
O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but Ren just messaged me and said he's supposedly dead due to one of the novels. Well, fuck.
Weren't the novels like decanonized though?
No, some of them. This was a newer one, so like anything past when Disney bought is all canon now. So we'll see. Right. But that's just my that's my theory.
I'd love to see him in live action because Quinlan Vos, now that I remember who he is, was one of my favorite characters in Clone Wars. He was so fun.
He's really
the
cool.
Dynamic between him and Obi-Wan in particular, especially during his introduction, was just so much fun. And
this was Ren saying. They say they're canon, but if something on TV or film contradicts the novels, it's basically fuck that novel. Makes sense. But that was just my theory. You can feel free to take it down now, but I do think we're going to find that out. Maybe not this season, but I think we'll find it out eventually. Or maybe it's like a quick, if Quinlan Vos does show up in here, it would be like a quick, like, oh yeah, I saved this like little dude who looked like Yoda. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Maybe he thought he was Yoda. Yoda just shrunk.
Exactly. But we're going away from Kenobi spoilers. We're all good to go now. Jumping in, Young Jedi Adventures, the animated TV series. No idea what this is.
No idea. I heard about that and I just went,
I do not give a fuck for this, so I don't know. We're just going to move on straight to Visions. We got a weekly ranking. Luis, Goodfellas, great one. Risky Business, great. Obi-Wan Kenobi, great. Stranger Things, great. Okay. I would probably have flipped all that, but great picks, man. Great picks. All right, we're going to switch over to Visions. Very happy this is getting another season.
Me too.
Do we know if it's the same studios, different studios this time?
I hope it's different. I want to see different anime studios get their hands on it, especially to show how beautiful like anime Star Wars can be. Like two studios in particular, I'd like to see from anime do Star Wars with Star Wars Visions 2. In my opinion, I would love to see Ufotable and MAPPA. I would love to see Studio MAPPA for their work on Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan Season 4, and the upcoming Chainsaw Man.
Didn't they do Demon Slayer?
No, Ufotable did Demon Slayer.
Oh, okay. I will say this. I only want one sequel to the original season, and that's the Apprentice one. When they're trying to find out, like when she has to run the lightsaber, like when they're building the lightsaber. That's the only one I want a sequel to. That felt like a Hayao Miyazaki film.
The twins. I want to see the sequel to the twins.
That was the only one I didn't like. I did not like the twins one. No, I like the Dragon Ball Z one with the bunny though. That one I'd like a sequel to as well.
I didn't like the Bounty Hunter ones.
The twins one.
I didn't like the Bounty Hunter ones personally.
They were fine. Next up, dude, we got our my most anticipated Star Wars show, Ahsoka, because this is technically a sequel to Rebels. The teaser for this was fantastic. It brought joy to my life. Seeing Sabine, seeing the back of Hera. You finished Rebels, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You see the mural. You see Sabine looking at the mural. It's very, very quick, but it's stunning.
I didn't even know a teaser was shown at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, it's not on the internet, but and then Chopper was on stage too. So Chopper's in it, which makes me assume they're gonna have Zeb. You have to have Zeb if you're bringing back Zeb. You have to, and I've been saying I want Zeb in live action for a while, but for me, with what I want from Ahsoka, there's a couple different things. I want them to expand a little bit of like where they are going. I think it's gonna be unique because I feel like they're going away from the Star Wars world that we know, and we're going to more the outer of it that we've never explored, like a Dare Beyond.
Do you think we'll get Ezra?
Yes, I would be shocked if we didn't. Whether he's last episode, middle, I think we're getting him and Thrawn in the show.
Well, especially with what is it? What is it? Sabine and Chopper returning and everything, and hopefully Zeb. But like, if they're returning, it would make sense for Ezra to return as well, I guess.
Yeah. So from my understanding, they were going to do a cartoon spinoff, but it never really went anywhere. So they ended up just combining that with the Ahsoka series, and I like that more because Ahsoka going off. She doesn't like Thrawn. She wants to get rid of Thrawn. So it's kind of a save Ezra, get rid of Thrawn, and then from there, I know me and Ren were maybe predicting that Thrawn eventually would possibly be a little bit more crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I think Thrawn might end up being the main villain of everything. Mando, like maybe he's even in charge of Moff Gideon. Also, Ren let me know that it's not all those studios are not just from Japan, but they're all from over the world. A second volume of shorts comes from animation studios in Japan, India, the United Kingdoms, Ireland, Spain, Chile, France, South Africa, and the United States.
I did not know that.
So good to know.
I did not know that.
Thank you for the support. But Ahsoka, very excited for Ahsoka. Very, very. Anything else you want to see from her? I'm just excited to see Thrawn in live action too.
I was the exact same. I've been waiting to see Thrawn in live action for so long, but for me, it's Thrawn and Ezra. I really hope Ezra is in it. Ezra was one of my favorite characters ever in Star Wars.
He's in it. We'll just go from there. He's in it. I would be shocked if he's not. We just don't know who's playing him. There's rumors of who is.
I heard rumors that it was the guy who played Aladdin in the live action remake at one point.
I don't know. Did you see his post this week? It was fucking funny. He posted, "Can't wait to see Ahsoka series. I just love seeing how everyone's doing." And then like some guy commented, and he goes, "Nice way of getting around the NDA." And then he like did like a GIF. I'm being on. It might be too on the nose now. Maybe he was in the running for it and he didn't get it personally. But I do hope he got it. I thought he was great as Aladdin, and I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
I would love him as Ezra. All right, next we have the Star Wars Skeleton Crew show. I don't know if you've heard about this. This is the Jude Law show.
I have heard
John
of it
Watts.
briefly.
So John Watts is directing this, and Jude Law starring. It's about kids who get lost in the world, from my understanding. Like, that's really all I kind of got from it. I am excited to see where this goes. That's the exciting part to me. I'm not totally hyped. I'm out of my mind, but this is something that I'm excited to see. Nothing more from there.
Did we see anything on Rangers, by the way?
Rescue Rangers of the New Republic?
Yeah.
No, it's probably canceled. Let's just be honest. It was a Cara Dune spinoff, and that's probably dead. Next, we have the Acolyte. Now, this is the one I was saving Yoda for. Because it's apparently taking place during the High Republic when the Sith was coming in. I would not be surprised if Yoda's in the show for some reason, just because it takes place during that time. The Acolyte is one of my most anticipated shows, though. I cannot wait for this show. They have the showrunner from Russian Doll doing this, which if you've never watched Russian Doll, that was a very unique twist on the Groundhog Day scenario.
I never watched.
But and you also have Amanda Stallenberg playing the main character, which makes me really excited. Loved her in The Hate You Give. She should have been nominated for that.
Yep.
She was fantastic. So really excited for this. Don't have much more thoughts on this one, but I'm excited to see.
Was anything shown or teased?
No, they didn't even talk about it.
Oh, really? Because Acolyte is the one that I've been looking forward to the most. Like, I'm excited for Ahsoka. I'm excited for Mando, but Acolyte, due to it being, what is it, like 100 years before everything we've ever seen so far, and it's all about like the Sith and everything. Like, that is untouched currently in regards to Star Wars media through film and TV, and whether it's like animated or live action, like this is untouched currently, and that's why I'm so excited, because not only does everything with the Sith fascinate me, but it's also untouched, uncharted territory 100 years ago in a galaxy far, far away. And I'm just kind of wanting to get away from the whole Skywalker stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited for Ahsoka, but that's still stuck in that area, whereas the Acolyte will move away from that completely. And that's why, because I want new stories that step away from everything we're familiar with.
Nope, I agree, man. I agree with you. Next up, we have the Lando TV series. Not much on this. They did mention that Donald Glover's just been too busy. So, but honestly, I don't think this show happens. That's
I don't think so either. I thought that the moment that it was announced, I was like, yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Taika Waititi Star Wars movie that is in development. We know that him and the writer from 1917 are working on the film. It was confirmed at Star Wars Celebration that this will be the next Star Wars film.
Do we have a scheduled at least?
She said 2023. There's no fucking way.
No fucking way.
Unless they start shooting in the next few months, which I don't even know. That's just rushing development. But Taika,
it does make sense though.
I love Taika as a director. She also did mention this. Let me say this: all the Star Wars movies will take place during the sequel era. Whether it's after what had happened, during it, it will all take place during there. Taika, we have no idea what it is about. I love Taika when he does films that are not blockbusters, but I am really looking forward to Thor 4.
Yeah.
I do not like Thor Ragnarok, or I like it, but I don't love it. So I'm excited to see what Taika's development is able to bring into this. So count me as interested, but I won't get more excited until I know what it's about.
Yeah, I'm the same because we don't really have any details aside from the fact of what you just said that it's going to take place during the sequel era or post sequel era. I honestly prefer post sequel era Star Wars stuff because therefore once again you can branch away from that shit and it's just not going to be stuck.
But also, I'll be honest and I'll say this: if for some reason they're surprising us, and I don't know, Rey, Finn, and Poe are the main characters, I really doubt it is that. I would be excited for that because I think Taika would be able to reinvent them because what he did with Mandalorian, those episodes were really good. So
yes, I think he had my favorite episode in season 2 as well.
So, all right, next up we got Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie. I'm going to make this easy as simple. I don't think this is happening anymore. There's no way it is. It was supposed to be the next one. It just feels like it's gotten delayed. And if it is, Patty Jenkins will not be the director of it.
Which is unfortunate because we all know how excited she was to do this film because of her history with her father, I believe it was.
Yep.
And, now that it's been shelved, like it's still there, but I don't think she's going to make it if it still goes forward, unfortunately.
No. And up next is Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie with Michael Waldron writing it, the guy who wrote Loki and Doctor Strange. Again, not much that we know about this, but in Kevin Feige, we trust. Seriously. As a producer, I feel like he's going to give us one hell of a Star Wars movie. I see this movie coming out in 2025. 2025, 2027.
That might be
unless they start going back to 2 years. But this is where I kind of want to get into just kind of closing this out before you take your guys' questions that you left in the community tab. Is I just want more Star Wars movies. It really feels like they're starting to pivot more on TV, and I'm totally fine with Disney Plus shows here and there, but I need movies. I think the magic comes from Star Wars movies a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mandalorian feels magical, Kenobi feels magical. I'm sure Ahsoka will too. But the movies is where I felt the magic as a kid.
Especially seeing it on the big screen, because even though I've loved Mando, I've loved Kenobi so far. There's just something about seeing Star Wars on the big screen as your first experience. And it just feels like that experience isn't the same for a first viewing when you're watching it on a TV or on your phone or on your computer. It does feel like an element of the experience has been stripped away, because even though when you watch it at home after it's released on digital or physical media, it's not going to be the same as it is in theaters. You at least have that memory, that experience of the first time witnessing the universe unfold in a certain way through the said story that they they decide to tell. And I completely agree. I want them to go back to more movies. And look, I love the fact that Acolyte in particular is getting a TV show regarding the Sith, but I want them to go into a Sith-based movie. I would love to see a really dark, gritty movie of Star Wars personally in the future that is purely on the Sith itself, that isn't afraid to be darker, without pushing the boundaries too much, because I don't think that they're going to do an R-rated Star Wars. I don't think they're ever going to do that. But have it match the tone of that hallway scene and that scene with Vader at the in Kenobi episode 3. I want that for a runtime with something purely based on Sith on the big screen.
I agree. I would love that. And the other thing I do want is, I know they said they're only going to focus on stuff in the future. Give me Old Republic, man.
That's what I was thinking too. Darth Bane, Darth Revan, give me all of that shit. That's what.
Which I know they're doing the game, so I'm assuming they'll probably tie that into canon somehow. But that's kind of where it's gonna go.
When is that coming, by the way? Is it next year?
Nah, I mean it could be, but I would not be. I think it's gonna be 2024. Just because I've been thinking
25, isn't it?
Which one?
Eclipse.
Eclipse could be 2025 to 2027.
Okay.
If it even happens. So yeah. Ren let it known, says, I believe they said sequel era in the sense that they're not going back telling stories from before, but rather moving forward in the timeline. I like that. Okay. I dig it.
Yeah.
Keep it going. Keep it moving. going forward. But that's really it for our Star Wars discussion, guys. Make sure to leave a comment if you're watching this later on, so that way we can see your guys' thoughts. I just thought it would be interesting to kind of discuss and dive into all that. So we're going to go into your guys' live, the questions that you left on the community tab. We're going to jump right into this. So first up, we're going to start at the bottom. Did you see the teaser trailer for a new horror movie, Smile, when you saw Top Gun Maverick and Crime of the Future? Teaser looks very interesting. Did you see this? I did not. I don't even know what it is.
I haven't even seen Top Gun Maverick or Crimes of the Future, because Crimes of the Future I don't even think was getting a release in theaters here. And then I've had COVID and I haven't even seen the original Top Gun, so I can't see Maverick.
I'm looking it up right now because I'm just curious to see what this is. No, I did not see it, but I saw the picture and it just looks dumb. So I didn't. What in your opinion, Lady Aaron asks, what in your opinion is the worst song you've ever heard in your life? The Baby Shark song.
Close your eyes, shut your mouth, dream a dream and get us out. Dream, 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 dream. Shark Boy and Lava Girl's Dream song.
Yep, that was pretty bad too. Oh, you know what song? No, you know what song's pretty bad lately is the song from Doctor Strange 2 of the kids. The ice cream song when they're singing.
Oh, but that was adorable. Don't get me started.
No,
that was adorable.
That was not adorable. No.
It was horrifying to a degree, but it was adorable.
Yeah. Tony Movie Chappie, question, will we be seeing a trend of this toxic behavior from Star Wars fans that have absolute hatred for Disney Star Wars and feels the need to bully or send death threats to actors such as Jake Lloyd, Ahmed Best, Hayden Christensen, Kelly Marie Tran, Daisy Ridley, and now Moses Ingram? When do you think this trend will ever stop? It'll never stop, because there's always going to be racist people who just are man babies and can't get the fuck over anything. It's fine to not like a character. 100%. It's okay not like a character, not like a performance, but to send death threats and shit, you are a fucking child. You are a loser. You are a child. You are a fucking loser.
The moment that you start sending death threats to anyone, like I've even seen death threats to Amber Heard with the whole Johnny Depp trial, not fucking necessary. I'm sorry.
No.
The moment you start sending death threats to someone, you lose all respect.
Anyone. Either side. I've seen people attacking Johnny for what he did. We don't know what happened. It's literally hearsay, she say. Like, there's proof here and there. We can't say. We can all have our sides. That's fine. But in the end of the day, I can't make it. That's why, like, publicly, I've not really made any statements on that because
I personally don't give a shit. I don't understand why it was even broadcasted.
I don't know. It was broadcasted because that's how America is.
But it's still bullshit. Matter. Why was it this case other than others? But that's a conversation for another fucking day.
Well, there's a lot of cases. In America, there's a lot of cases that get televised. It's not. Really? It's not just theirs. It's just theirs is high profiled, so everyone wants to watch it. Yeah, it's pretty shitty, but you know, I've seen people like attacking Johnny Depp, like for even going after. It's like, okay, but like if he felt that like he had a story to be said, then like cool, like you know, I don't know. It's.
But the thing is,
I'm
the
going
problem
on,
is,
but
there's always going to be racist.
Question. I want to stay with this question,
course.
Though.
But like, there's always going to be racist people. There's always going to be overly opinionated people as well regarding media, whether it's movies, TV, video games. There's going to be the racist. There's going to be the sexist. There's going to be the feminists. You're going to have all these people, and even just the people who aren't like that but are overly opinionated, like what happened with Jake Lloyd. I'm sorry, but don't. They did their best. They're actors. They're doing their fucking job. These are the writers. This is the vision they want to make. If you have a problem with it, cool, that's your opinion, but don't send death threats to these people, because
I'll tell you right now, they're doing a better job than I ever could.
Oh,
I could not play Jar Jar Binks the way Ahmed Best did. So,
yeah, exactly. And what is it? The same issue happened no less than 2 years ago with Laura Bailey with The Last of Us Part 2. The fact that this crap is still going on is disgusting to me, and I don't understand why people have to be like this. I don't get it. But then the moment that they get called out for it, they're man babies and they just fucking cry on the internet even further.
Yep. I agree with you, man.
Their point.
Yep. Nathan Holton asked two things. Thoughts on Jurassic World Dominion getting mixed reviews? Say this right now. Embargo's not up, so I don't know where you saw the mixed reviews at. Next thing,
breaking embargo I've seen all over Twitter already.
I have seen that too, but some of them I do not believe I've actually seen it, if I'm being honest with you. Just saying. Because I'll just say this: they are not doing preview screens for that for public until this week, the week of release.
No, not until Tuesday, I don't think.
And the only press members that have seen the film are people who interviewed the cast with a couple others who didn't, but most of them from like at least
public,
in the United States wise.
Public press screeners or anything don't properly start until what is it, Tuesday, I don't believe.
Yep. Nathan Holton, thoughts on Rachel Zegler joining the Hunger Games prequel?
Love it.
I dig it. I like it. Good choice. Really like.
I just read the book actually. I just read the book and now I'm fucking hyped.
I didn't like that book.
I thought it was great. I personally really enjoyed it.
I'm in the minority. I Mockingjay kind of just soured me on the entire Hunger Games thing. So I loved Catching Fire's book and I love the movie. But yeah, everything after that. Lady Aaron, to Patrick, in your opinion, what are some movies that you consider to be overrated and some movies that you consider to be underrated and why?
Underrated, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, for one, I'm going to bring up immediately. I know Zach's going to disagree with me, but the way that I look at it is it's a movie that's based on a video game that doesn't have good writing or characters in the fucking first place, nor acting for that matter, but it's the world building that works, and that's what they focused on with Welcome to Raccoon City, and that's why I think as a Resident Evil fan it works, and as a Resident Evil film fan, unfortunately, because I did want a sequel. But the way that they handle that story, that I don't think that they could even do a sequel with video game continuity and canon or anything. Like, there's no way they could do Nemesis now. But as for movies I think are slightly overrated, I don't think that's really for me to judge because that's an opinion thing. And same thing with underrated, obviously, but everyone enjoys a film while others may not enjoy said film. Overrated, if I was to say one, see, off the top of my head, that's hard. I could literally say most of the MCU if I wanted to, but that's just my opinion. Again, like it's just a subjective thing that these days I'd prefer to respect and not really comment on personally, but I would.
Unless it's Eternals, because you like Eternals.
Yeah, and that's one that I think is underrated. Yes, Eternals. Like, if it's an underrated one, in my opinion, I'll voice my reasoning as to why. But if it's like one that I think is overrated, I won't even voice my opinion because I don't want to tear down other people's opinions. Like, that's just how I am, really. Now
she has two more questions. One I don't feel comfortable answering, so I'm going to skip one of your questions, Lady Aaron, just giving you as a heads up. But the next one I will I will answer. Is there a good movie that has a scene that just feels out of place? And if so, what would it be? As of lately, she wants to know, is there a good movie that has a scene that just feels out of place? And if so, what would it be? I'm trying to think like off the top of my head. Let's see. What have I watched lately? I don't know. Nothing really. I don't really think so. Nothing that really bothers me. What about you?
Nothing really, because a great movie where a scene feels out of place.
If you can't think of any, it's fine. We can just move forward.
I can't really think of any right now, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Nathan Holton wants to ask, what are your thoughts on Cha-Cha Real Smooth? Have you seen this movie yet? I've seen it. So have you seen it now?
I haven't seen it. No.
So I'll take that. I love it. It's one of my favorites of the year. I have a review on my channel. You can go watch it. Joe Fletcher, do you think we see Quinlan, Boss, and Kenobi? We kind of answered this during the show. Yeah. I think so because the name drop was there. But if he doesn't, then it's just a nice little thing towards the fans, you know? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we'll actually see him?
Take it with a grain of salt for now, I guess. It could have just been a cool Easter egg and we might be reading too much into it.
Yep. Nathan Holton asks next, thoughts on Isabella Merced being cast in Madam Web? Tell you right now, I do not give one fuck, and I don't even know who that is. And then there's nothing against her. The reason I don't give a fuck is because it's a Madam Web movie. I do not care what Sony does right now past anything that's not Tom Holland's Spider-Man movie. And that's because Morbius was a piece of shit. Morbius was a terrible movie. What? No, nope, not excited for Kraven anymore. Nope. I know they have a great cast. I know they have a great director. I know they have a pretty decent script writers, but I just do not care. I don't care unless it's Tom Holland Spider-Man. And I hope Kraven is great. I hope Kraven proves me wrong. I hope so too. Aaron Taylor Johnson, I fucking adore. I think he's one of the most underrated actors. They have Russell Crowe in there. You got the girl Ariana DeBose, who just won Best Supporting Actress. Like, you have a fantastic cast, but your Morbius movie sucked. So And Madam Web is just a character I do not care about. There's an interesting story you could have done there, but from what I've read that it's going to be, I just do not even understand and fathom why you're.
Who's even the lead of that movie?
It's Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney, from my understanding, will be the leads.
That's unfortunate because they're both very good actresses.
They're both excellent. So again, and I like the director they have. She did the first season of Jessica Jones. So,
oh, did she really?
Yeah. So apparently from what I understand is that she pitched the idea for a Madam Web film. So again, I could be wrong. This could be the best thing we've ever seen. But for me, it just comes down to what have you done for me lately? And what did Sony do for me lately? They slapped me in the face with fucking Morbius. So that's what you did for me lately, and I do not care for that.
I'm not even going to say the meme.
No. And did you see the video with Jared Leto?
Just get the fuck off my timeline.
But I will say, if I go see Craven, like I see the trailer, I'm like, okay, this looks pretty good. I'm not gonna get my expectations too high. And then I watch it, I'm like, this is great. Like, this is a really good movie. Not just a fun movie, but a great movie. I might go, okay, let me see Madam Web now. Let's see how good Madam Web is.
Yep.
And if Madam Web's that good, then cool. Anything else from your side, man?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Morbius just left such a sour taste in my mouth that I really don't give a shit about what anything Sony does with any of these Marvel Spider-Verse movies anymore. The Sony Spider-Verse stuff. I just don't give a shit.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I still care about that.
I still care about that, obviously, but it's everything else, like the live action crap. Like, I just don't give a flying fuck anymore. I'm someone who hasn't even really enjoyed the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies for the most part. Like, I think No Way Home's the best of the three, but upon rewatches in the last couple of months, I don't necessarily love it. I think it's fun. I think it's enjoyable, but I notice its issues. And, just everything recently with Sony Spider-Man stuff, aside from Spider-Verse, I've just been remotely uninterested. I haven't been remotely interested, and I've just checked out completely, essentially. Like Morbius, I'll admit, I enjoyed, but not in the way that they intended. It was fucking hilarious. I laughed my ass off during that movie. Although I did see it in the most obnoxious way. I saw it in 40X. So therefore, the entire movie, especially when Morbius is jumping around and flying around, my seat was just keep throwing me back and forward the entire time.
That's funny.
So, I mean, if it was more tongue-in-cheek intentionally, like the, Matt Smith dance scene, I might have enjoyed it a little bit more. But I can say the same thing about Twilight with the baseball scene, for fuck's sake.
That scene's amazing, and I will argue. I think Twilight's a better movie than Morbius.
I will agree with you, and I'm someone who really hates the Twilight movies.
Morbius was terrible. The more and more I think about that movie, I fucking hate that movie. That movie is terrible. Next up, Nathan Holland asks, "What roles would you like to see Kristen Stewart in?" Literally, what she is doing now. I do not care. Whatever she wants to do now. Did you see, what was the director? I don't remember the director that said it, but he said he would love to do a movie between Pattinson and Kristen Stewart.
I didn't see that.
Is it David was it Cronenberg that said it? Let me see if I can figure it out.
I'll just look up Kristen Stewart and I'll look up Muse and that'll probably come up.
I'm really curious. Cronenberg. It was Cronenberg.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that now because it was during a Crimes of the Future article.
I would love that. I would love that. Given though I know they dated and they have she cheated on him, so I don't know where they're at personally, but
oh, did she? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so we'll leave it there. This was like 10 plus years ago, so
no, water under the bridge probably at this point.
Later, Aaron asks, did you guys know that in The Boys there is an actress that is named Erin Moriarty in that show, and that she shares the same exact name as me, in which my name is Erin Moriarty as well? And would it be awesome if the actress shared the exact same name as yours? Sure.
Yeah,
that would be cool, and that's cool that you
I highly doubt anyone's going to be named Patrick Burow, aside from me. But can I just say one thing about The Boys really quick? Although she's barely in it, Laurie Holden is fantastic in season 3.
Oh, it's the Crimson. She's great. She has a really good. Can I tell you right now? She has a great scene. She has a great scene later on that is.
Does she?
It's really funny.
I've got a little Blu-ray in that cupboard over there that I'm not going to go fishing for right now. Underrated performance of hers, in my opinion. The police officer in the Silent Hill movie.
Oh yeah, I
think
forgot she was
she
in
is
there.
really good in Silent Hill.
Have you watched Wretched? It's a horror film. She plays a mother
Wretched.
in there. Wretched, yeah, with the
I
Wendigo
haven't,
thing.
but I've got it on my list as a possible reaction down the line.
I don't think. I'll be honest. I don't think there's much to react to in that movie, but it is good. I'll just give you a heads up. I think you might watch it and be like, "Why did I not react to this? Why did I?"
I think Silent Hill would be a fun one to get my sister to react to.
I think you should do that. I think you should do that.
I might swap it out for 28 Days Later in July.
Okay. G. Colby, when talking about all the stuff when it comes to Star Wars and Marvel, I know we talk about fatigue lately and yada, 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 but we are starting to get fatigued with the stupid anti-SJW mob lately saying everything is woke or some propaganda is getting annoying and tired and sad, especially with the shit that happens with Moses Ingram and the whole world, the MCU crap. Yeah, I agree.
About this so many times, especially when Bond came out last year. You and I had a massive you and I had a massive discussion over this over Twitter.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired. Wait till context of it. It's this thing that happened with No Time to Die. People were flipping out about it before they even watched it. In context, it made sense. And there were people who never even seen the movie who were like, "Oh, this is woke bullshit. How is it woke?" And then they'll comment and tell me, and I'm like, "But you haven't even seen the movie because that literally is nothing that you are saying. You sound like a fucking idiot."
I had a friend of mine who I literally had to basically have a blow up at because he said that having She-Hulk in the MCU was woke, and I said, "Fuck off."
I hate that too.
I basically said to him, "You can go fuck yourself because She-Hulk has been around since before you were even fucking born. She is an actual comic fucking character and is actually important fucking, Bruce Banner. Just fuck off."
The way I put it, there are times where you see a movie or TV and they're banging you over the head about something about a character, whether a character is gay, a character is a certain race, and that is when I can understand that. When they're banging you over the head and you can clearly tell they are doing it just to check off a box. That is when it is an issue.
Or if it's thrown in there without rhyme or reason and it's just there to be a thing.
But when it's organically brought in and it's not annoying, like you're not annoying is the wrong word, but when you're watching it and you're like, "Oh, this is great." Like Moses Ingram, her race has nothing to do with that character. She's just a fucking great actress. Like that is literally it. She's just a really good actress. But people are attacking her race. What for?
Can guarantee you if it was
I remember John Boyega, same thing happened to him.
Yeah. I can guarantee you if Moses Ingram was not the character of Reva and it was just some other white actress.
If it was a white man, people would not. If it was a white man, people would not be talking shit about her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, honestly. White man. Because even if you're a white woman these days, people are like, "Oh, woke SJW." Even, and I'm just
that's where going, like I look at Miss Marvel is not out yet. I am ready for people to say it is woke because it's about a Pakistan family. It's about the Muslim culture and stuff. But when I watch that show, it's there. Like the culture and the community is there, but it's so fucking relatable. Like it is, again, I can't dive any deeper, but I'll just say it's a very relatable show. And they even said that during the press conference yesterday. That is what they went after. Is that they want anyone that watches that show to say that I feel like I can relate somehow. Like that's something that my mom would do. That is something my dad would do. And it feels that way. And I love that. And that is something that I feel like we just get away from. So I'm going on a tangent. Let's talk about
I'm just excited for Miss Marvel. I couldn't be more excited. And that's a part of the reason to why I'm excited.
G. Colby, what is a film you didn't like from a director you like or love, and a film you liked from a director you're not crazy about? This is a good question. I like that.
That's a very good question, actually.
A film I didn't like from a director you like. Oh, well, Cronenberg's new film, Crimes of the Future. I typically like Cronenberg, but I did not like Crimes of the Future. From a director, I'm not.
Mortal Kombat from Paul W.S. Anderson.
That's a good one. But a film that I'm not crazy
about. A lot of people say Event Horizon for him, but I haven't seen Event Horizon. But another one I will say is the first AVP movie. I actually really enjoy that from Paul. It's just everything else after that point that I don't like.
What are some bad directors?
Bad directors?
Or maybe people like directors we're not crazy about.
Johannes Roberts, I'll say I enjoyed his Resident Evil movie. I will bring that up just to piss off Zach.
I don't like anything he's done.
I don't like anything he's done aside from Welcome to Raccoon City, personally. Bad directors that oh God. I'm trying to think of movies recently that have surprised me from directors I generally
I guess,
don't like.
okay, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Michael Bay, but when he's on his A game, I really like his movies. So it's like, it's tough for me to choose him because, like, it's a tough question because there are days where I feel like directors do a really good job at directing and times where they do a terrible job. Know what? I have one. I don't think George Clooney is a good director. I just do not. I like him I love him as an actor. I like The Tender Bar. I was surprised by that. So I'll give him that one.
Can I say, hang on. Am I able to just use like showrunners or something as well?
Sure.
Because
that's fine. Yeah.
Because Chuck Lorre and Stephen Moldaro generally don't make good sitcoms. But I don't like 2.5 Men. I don't like Mike and Molly or whatever it was fucking called. Don't care about any of those whatsoever. But I'm one of those people who will defend Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon.
Okay.
I really love Young Sheldon, especially because it goes away from the sitcom route and goes more into like a family drama exploration of Sheldon's childhood that I actually think is quite pure a lot of the times. And it's even now going into the whole issue with Sheldon's father's affair, which I didn't expect it to be that mature.
Okay, that's good to know. Masters of Gaming wants to ask, which of the 3 actors would you hang out with? David Harbour, Demetrius Shipp Jr. from Cutthroat City, or Guy Pearce? Now, I've never seen Cutthroat City. So, oh wait, no, I have seen that. I wouldn't pick him. Probably pick David Harbour.
I'm the same because I don't even know who that second guy is, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd probably say Harbour as well. It's nothing against Guy Pearce. It's just Harbour just seems like an absolute mad lad.
Joe Fletcher asks, and well, I guess Joe Fletcher asked this and G. Colby, so we'll kind of combine them. G. Colby says, I know Joe Fletcher asked this question about searching for a big name director for Fantastic Four. I saw this suggestion from some people. What about Ben Stiller, especially if you look at Walter Mitty in the episodes of Severance? Yes, that would be great. The thing with it, though, is let's talk about what director we'd want, because apparently Kevin Feige is looking for a big name director to do Fantastic Four. Someone that he doesn't have to watch over production like he did with that he didn't have to do with Doctor Strange or Sam Raimi. Apparently they're shooting for big names. When I think big names, I think Steven Spielberg. I think
was actually thinking that before as well.
Is it possible that that they are looking at Steven Spielberg?
I don't see Spielberg doing a Marvel movie, if I'm being honest, though.
I would. I could see him. I could see him doing it. Especially if they pitch him on a film, a group of heroes that has never gotten a good movie. What if he's the one that I want to do that first one? He did Ready Player One. I mean, I could see him doing it. But if it's not, I don't see Scorsese, Denis Villeneuve wouldn't do it. Nolan wouldn't do it.
You know, I would like to see Spielberg, though. I would like to see it. Although I personally don't see it too much. Although you do make a great point with Ready Player One. I just don't see it. But I would love to see Spielberg do a Fantastic Four movie.
Mm-hmm. But your name of Ben Stiller, G. Colby, is a really good pick, too. I don't see him doing it. Especially certain things I've heard behind the scenes. I've heard he's a really good director, but he's very particular. And I do feel like that Kevin Feige would probably have to rein him in a bit. Depending on what he's needing to do. Where I feel like Spielberg would just go ahead. Plus, could you imagine if we get a John Williams score?
That would be great. I'd love that.
So, that'd be great. To Patrick, what are some songs that you consider to be a guilty pleasure of yours and some TV shows that are guilty pleasure of yours? Answer that. I'm going to go grab water real fast. It's like right next to me.
You know what? Miley Cyrus is The Climb. I'm not even going to deny it. When I was younger, I used to love watching the Miley Cyrus movie, but I was like, 7, 8 years old. But yeah, The Climb, like when I'm with my sister, I'll just chuck The Climb on, or she'll chuck The Climb on, and we'll just belt out the lyrics. We have
Party in the USA too, man.
Yeah, or what is it? What's that song where they're doing the cowboy dance in the bar in the Hannah Montana movie?
I do not remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one's a lot of fun as well. From when I used to watch Hannah Montana as a kid.
Nice.
But yeah, I'd say Hannah Montana songs, admittedly. I still listen to some of that shit. I'm not even afraid to admit it.
You listened to it. You listened to it this morning. Do not lie.
I won't lie. I listened to it on my way to work. It was in my playlist.
Next up, we got... we already kind of answered that in our show. All right. G. Colby asks, what are some movies you tried recommending to your family members or close friends, but they refuse to watch it?
Saw. The amount of times I've recommended Saw to my mum she loves her crime thrillers, but she just refuses to watch it.
The Nice Guys is a big one in my house. So yeah. Movie fan. Hey Patrick, did you attend the Elvis premiere tonight in Australia?
Wish, but it was down in Sydney, not Brisbane. But I am seeing it at the Brisbane premiere in a couple weeks.
Me too. Well, not Brisbane, but I'm seeing it in a couple weeks. I'm not excited for that movie.
Yeah,
no. I'm not a fan of Baz Luhrmann, so
we'll talk about that later.
Lady Aaron, so what are your current thoughts on Stranger Things season 4, and are you excited for part 2 of season 4 to arrive? So I already have my review out, so I'm not going to get too much into my thoughts. Am I excited for part 2 of season 4? Yes, because I want to see how it ends and how they set up for season 5, since season 5 is the official last season. That's where I'm at. What about you?
I'm excited for Volume 2, mainly for the reason of I'm so unsure where I stand right now. I have so many mixed emotions with Volume 1, but a lot of that is because the story's not wrapped up. We have an incomplete story as of now. And before I even remotely comment on how I feel with Stranger Things Season 4, I'd rather see it in its completion. So for that reason alone, yes, I am excited.
Yes. I'll take this next one. This isn't a question. It's from Lady Aaron, but I hope you're feeling better, Ren. If you ever need anyone to talk to, I'm here. So are your fans, as we support you. No matter what happens, we all love you, Ren. We do love Ren. Me and Patrick love Ren. We love cuddling
always in
every
one
night. Yep.
We do it on the DL.
Yep. Lady Aaron. So we have gotten a lot of trailers for this upcoming movies over the past couple of weeks. Which trailers of the ones that we've gotten so far did you like the most, and which trailers are you most excited to get? I don't remember what came out lately. I just know Black Adam's trailer. Oh yeah, that was really good. I know Black Adam's trailer is this next week, which I'm really excited to see.
Wednesday night, isn't it?
Well, Wednesday night for you, Wednesday morning for me.
Yeah, it will be. Or no, it'll probably be my Thursday morning if that's.
It's gonna go up between 6 to 9 a.m. my time.
Oh, so that will be my night. I'll probably actually be at the premiere for Jurassic World.
Ren reminded me the Pinocchio trailer also came out. I didn't.
Horrifying.
I wasn't that blown away by it because we didn't see fucking Pinocchio.
Jiminy Cricket looks horrifying.
I actually like the design though. I think it's horrifying, but it's the thing about Pinocchio though is Pinocchio is not a fucking happy story. That is a very dark.
No, it's depressing.
So, I'm very curious to see what they do with the live action. So I'll leave it there.
And the whale stuff.
The whale stuff is gonna be fucking weird.
Yeah.
Joe Fletcher asks, other than the Rebels crew, what other characters do you think could appear in Ahsoka? Easy enough. Captain Rex. I would actually be shocked if he's not in there. What about anyone else from you?
Probably just Rex. Yeah, that's probably all I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really think any other. Maybe
Mando. Actually, Mando will probably turn up.
Mando's a good one. Grogu,
Boba.
It just depends kind of where they're at in their story, I guess.
Luke,
what they're doing. Luke would be an interesting one, like for 1 or 2.
Yoda might turn up as a Force Ghost at some point.
Yeah. Movie fan. Well, he's dead. No. Even if Force Ghost, he could show up. Yeah. Movie fan. How are you guys feeling after the announcement that Ted Lasso's ending after season 3? I did not see that. Ted Lasso is ending after season 3. What the fuck?
I've never seen Ted Lasso.
It's really good.
Yeah, my buddy Alex is a massive fan of Ted Lasso.
Okay, now I remember this. Okay, so technically it is not ending yet. It's just right now that is the plan. The problem with it is where they film it at is way far away from Jason Sudeikis' family. So if they were to end the show, they would move it. I don't know how to explain it, but pretty much there's story to be told if they want to, but they would have to move the show to a different location, from my understanding. But if it ends, it ends. That's fine. You don't drag a show out where it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Fletcher, thoughts on Kevin Feige wanting a big name to direct we kind of already did that. Lady Aaron, how would you personally rank the Star Wars shows? She said she asked you this week. So I'm going to be honest. I'm going to not answer this just for the fact of I'm already planning a video for this. I guess I can do what's out now, but just because I'll be doing everything. But right now, Mando's number 1. I'm not including Kenobi though, because Kenobi is not over. But I would do Mando, Clone Wars and Rebels is really tough next because, like, Rebels, when it's great, it's great. When Clone Wars is amazing, like the last 4, it's great. So I'm probably going to do Clone Wars next, then Rebels, then Boba Fett, and then Bad Batch.
You forgot Visions.
Visions I would put above Boba Fett. What was yours?
We basically have, that was basically mine. Mine was pretty much the same.
Where would you put Kenobi right now? I'd put Kenobi after Rebels.
I wouldn't even put Kenobi in there because I'd rather wait until all 6 episodes are out before I even consider it, because I'd rather wait for the full thing before I comment on anything.
All right. Eric Thorpe reviews ask, thoughts on Johnny Depp being hopefully back in business? Would you like to see the 6 Pirates movie be the kind of new Jurassic World where the original trio is brought back from the original, all his main characters, to probably close out the franchise? I'll say this. There's a lot of things that you're asking. Will he come back? Because he said he wouldn't after Disney, tossed him.
Railed him.
And there's also the question of, do they want him back? It's not even the fact that, like, because right now they're apparently working on 2 Pirates movies, one with Margot Robbie and one show, and then I think another movie with Karen Gillan.
That one I heard about years ago, though, and I haven't heard anything about it since.
They're still working on it. I think someone asked Jerry Bruckheimer at the Top Gun what they were doing with the Pirates. So here's my idea. I would not be shocked if the Margot Robbie one had him as a supporting character. I wouldn't be shocked. Wouldn't be shocked at all. Also wouldn't be shocked if we get 3 Margot Robbie movies, and in the 3rd Margot Robbie movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, we see Jack Sparrow. Would not be shocked, because that's like, what, 10 years down the line when we would probably get that? And that's 10 years away from all this, and they bring back Johnny Depp for just a small little thing to finish out his role. I could see that 100%. Is it possible? Sure. Is it likely? No. What I think Johnny Depp now will be going, he's got 1 or 2 things is going to happen with his career. 1, he's just not going to do as many movies. He doesn't need to work. Maybe he's just done. Let him just live his life. He went, again, I don't want to go with sides and stuff like this, but if everything that had happened, I mean, I wouldn't want to do anything for the rest of my life either. I mean, seriously, when you have money, you don't have to. But the other thing is, I would not be shocked to see him appearing in more independent stuff, which he's been doing. But I mean, like, legit, like Tarantino's next film. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him working with that. Like small roles like this and that here and there, kind of how like John Travolta did for a little bit, and then his career blew back up. So I think there's 2 ways that we're going to start seeing. I love Johnny Depp. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. So I would love to see whatever they like to do with him next, but it's more of what he wants to do. I don't see him doing big blockbuster stuff, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in 5-6 years from now, we will see him do more big blockbuster stuff, but I think it's just going to be independent stuff from now on.
Either that, or he might go into like I think he might only just go into indie, or maybe even return to his roots with how he started with horror, like he did in Nightmare on Elm Street. I'd like to see him do some more horrors, because he's done a few horrors in the past, and they've always been really entertaining with him in it. Especially, he's always given his all. I'd like to see him do another musical, admittedly, because I love Sweeney Todd. But I do agree. I think he's mainly just going to do a lot more independent stuff, and he said he wouldn't, and after everything, like as you said, I wouldn't want to, and after how Disney treated him, I don't see him returning to any big I don't see, after how Warner Brothers and Disney treated him, I don't see him returning to any big studios ever again.
No. And again, could be wrong. Money comes in, money says, hey, backs up a big load of fucking but the question also is liability and things like that. I don't know his personal life. I don't know what happened. I'm going off what happened in the case. A lot of shit was out, and I'll tell you right now, maybe they're both just not good people. Personally, maybe they're just both toxic, and it brought out the worst in both of them. But, and I know there's things going around that potentially Amber Heard scenes are now being cut out of Aquaman 2, which from what I heard, she's barely in the fucking movie anyway. So, I'll tell you right now, it's really not that hard to cut her out, from what I have heard about the film. So from there, it's whatever. But guys, that actually was our last question. There were some other questions in there, but I just didn't feel comfortable talking about them. Some was about the Texas tragedy and asking about our thoughts. And it's just tragic. Like there's nothing really say that about it. But I do love doing this show, and I'm happy that I could have Patrick along for the way. And we love Ren as well. So thank you to Ren for manning this behind the scenes and making this a seamless show, a seamless interaction, and all things like that. Now, Patrick, what do you got coming up this week, man?
This week, I do have a little bit of a video delay due to how hectic this last week has been. But I have my reaction to the Banana Splits movie coming out this week, and then the following week.
Was that your first time watching it?
Yes, it's nuts. It's ridiculous.
I hated that movie.
Oh, it's awful, but you know what? As someone who loves Five Nights at Freddy's and still does, it was kind of everything I wanted it to be in a way as well. Although, my God, I couldn't wait for everyone to die, especially the dad who was trying to push his daughter in front of the producers. Just fuck off. But then the week after, I'm yet to record my reaction, but I am watching Tusk for the first time. Kevin Smith's Tusk.
Oh, God. Oh my God, that's gonna be fun. So after that, you have to watch Yoga Hosers. You have to do a reaction to Yoga Hosers because that's technically the sequel.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yes, it's a kind of a sequel, kind of not. It's a sequel though. They were supposed to do a trilogy of podcast monster things that he was supposed to do, and they never did it. Because Yoga Hosers absolutely bombed. But they were supposed to do Moose Jaws next, but they never did it.
Huh. All right, I'll have to give it a watch then. I'll put it on my list for a couple months.
Yeah, don't look in. Did you see why it's a sequel or no?
No, I have no.
Okay,
idea.
don't look and see why it's a sequel. There's a character that's in Tusk.
I just saw because it's literally dead smack at the front of the casting list.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you see why, but yeah. And Yoga Hosers is. It's not a good movie. It is not a good movie, but I think there will be fun things for you to react there. For it.
Oh, sometimes the best movies to react to are the ones that aren't great, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Tusk is reminder. Tusk is an A24 film, just so you know.
I know, and that's what makes me excited as well because there'll be two A24 movies in a row. By the way, because Tusk is first next week, and the week after, my sister's going to be subjected to Hereditary.
Nice, that's a good one. Good family bonding movie. Anything else that coming out this week for you though?
Oh, yes, I do, which I was actually going to talk to you, Christian, and Leo about, but I will be streaming on Friday the entirety of Supermassive's The Quarry. I have my deluxe edition pre-order.
That's already coming out?
This coming Friday.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. Are you doing it on our channel, or are you doing it on yours, or?
I was going to stream it on mine, but then I was going to stream some stuff on the Critics Play Game channel as well, because
You can review it, too, if you want.
Well, I thought that's what we had initially discussed as well, because I was going to contact you guys throughout the week being like, hey, got my, my copy and everything. Am I good to review it? Because I'm so excited. I literally streamed Man of Medan.
I thought that was July,
this month.
Man.
It's June 10th.
Yeah. Dude, go ahead.
July.
Go ahead and review it. Yeah, go ahead.
July is when the share play and play feature gets added in for the 7 players to play together and vote on the options of what choices to make and people to play together and everything. So while you might be playing in this section as this selected character, another person might be playing this section of the story with this character. So your simultaneous choices affect the story. Austin Putnam and I did the same thing with Man of Medan on Wednesday. We streamed Man of Medan with our share play.
That's cool.
Yeah, which was a lot of fun. We'll be streaming that again on Wednesday.
That's
before
exciting.
I go to Jurassic World.
So yeah, dude, go ahead, review it. You're totally fine. I won't have time to beat it. So go
it's
ahead.
for 10 hours. Did you hear how long it is?
Yeah,
it's 10 hours with 186 endings.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you though, and I know you're a perfectionist. Please review it after you beat it the first time. I don't want you putting. Please do not stress yourself out about 100%ing the game.
Well, it's because
your mental health
in the first month.
Me. Yeah,
it's what my file corrupted for Lego Star Wars after 130 hours of total playtime because the power in my house went out while I was playing.
Nice.
I hate it. I hate it now.
Yeah, but please do not stress yourself out about perfecting this. Beat it and then review it. Do not put yourself through. I mean, afterwards if you want to. That's totally fine with me. Like a couple weeks from now, but don't do that to yourself, please. Don't do that to yourself.
I mean, I'm gonna put myself through Elden Ring anyway. So
I love Elden Ring. I 100%ed that entire game. That was fun. I did it in 87 hours though. So that
I've been researching and I've been writing down a route and a plan to do the platinum in under 10 hours.
Oh Jesus. That's tough. But anyways, I just posted a new gaming video on Critics Play Games called Destiny 2 in 2022, why you should play it. Or is it worth playing? It is. Go watch it. I was actually kind of surprised when I got back into it. Got Jurassic World Dominion this week. I'm seeing Lightyear as well, so I don't think I can review Lightyear, but I know I can tweet out my reaction. Then we got Kenobi. Miss Marvel starts this week. The Boys. And yeah, lots of busy stuff coming out. And just thank you guys again for all the support and all that sorts of things. So make sure to watch this, share this, follow this, all sorts of things like that. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. So love each other and love the movies. Definitely.